It is Monday, November 10th, 2025. This is the Old Farm District monthly board meeting. We are in a different classroom today, classroom 2. So we may have some people come in because we somehow got booted out of our normal meeting room. So in case anybody came and didn't show up, sorry, but there should be a sign on the door. Was there?
No, well, there was, but I know I wandered around for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Found it.
Yeah.
Not a very obvious location. I did see the sign. I kind of went along there and I couldn't
Okay.
see anything, so I wasn't quite sure. There needed to be another sign or two
Uh,
out in the corridor to kind of point in the right direction.
So sorry about that. That was definitely not our fault. That I'm gonna definitely blame Parks for this. So,
There you go.
my name is James DeRofi. I am the board chair for the Old Farm District.
Karen Johnson, Land Use Chair.
Jen Sawyer, social media.
Ross Tinty. Brian Kennedy.
And Jim Presto from Southeast Bend.
So let's thank you, Ann Sherry, for joining us today. If at any time you do have questions or comments, just please raise your hand and we will address you. Pardon me? Okay, and at this point, I guess, are there any public comments from it? Jim, do you have any public comments? You're part of the public.
I'm part of the public, yeah. Not a resident of Old Farm.
That's fine.
As long as you guys don't mind. Not really. I'm still struggling to get board members.
Okay,
There was I got a couple of names from people, but they ended up not being in my district. There was one fellow named Spencer Bailey, who is in Easton South, the new part of Easton. He's not very happy that he's not in any kind of a neighborhood district. And he's just applied to Bards and outside of Earth, I believe. So I suggested he come here because it'd be a good way to kind of get an idea what's really going on.
okay.
Perhaps he could, maybe he'll join by a video or something. I don't know. I just told him where it was.
On that note, we've continued to be in active conversations with city staff and city council regarding the boundaries. And then when I was looking at the city's website earlier today, the city now has a few different sections of town listed as undesignated representation. So it is not just an issue over on the southeast side of town. As the town continues to expand, city council will have to address that situation. Any old business that we need to address in general that I may have forgotten or Ross has forgotten as part of the agenda topics? And I'm asking the board for this. It could be a no, that's fine.
Can I just say something about the input we're trying to get right now?
Sure.
We are currently taking input. Where do I look? We're currently taking input from people in the southeast area regarding your interpretation of what a complete community would look like. If you have any input that you want to send us, please send it to oldfarmbend@gmail.com. In the subject line, if you could put complete communities, and then specify if you want to remain anonymous and or if you want to give your input to local news. And please spread the word.
And will you be doing another blast on?
Yep.
I'm gonna just keep poking away at it.
And here's a thought, don't know how it would look, or if maybe Ross can assist you in this. Brian and I were talking. If you could take your message that you were sending out and possibly run it through Google Translate into Spanish and broadcast it that way as well.
Even better, I work at a school and there are women that know Spanish there.
Then I will let you take care of it
Okay.
however you want. And we just thought that'd be a great way. So if you're willing to do that, I think that'd be awesome.
I can do that.
All righty, we've done public comments, we've done old business. I think Karen is going to have the floor for a bit.
Okay.
And Karen, you're our land use chair. A whole lot has happened, so fill us in on everything, and then we will make a separate conversation of the Reed Market project after you're done.
Sometimes I throw in some editorial comments. And this is one that was interesting. The city proposed a change in the Bend Development Code. The code section they wanted to change that generated ferocious opposition said that concerning master plans, of which 10% of the land has to be 10% has to be open space. The present code read, the open space must be open to the public and must not be fenced off unless related to a park or approved public or private recreational facility, including but not limited to tennis courts, swimming pools, driving ranges, and ball fields. In other words, the code provided that open space must be open to the public in a master plan. And they proposed to eliminate the must be open to the public. There must have been easily 20 comments that came in, and I testified before the city council, and did a couple of other people, that we should keep open space, even if it was in a private master plan, should be open to the public. Well, the planner who proposed this explained that it in fact was all a mistake, and that this language in effect was illegal, and that this council had never formally adopted it to mean what it says it means. It was an interesting meeting. She explained that in 2022, she visited a master planned area and saw that the developer had a catchment basement where water collected. It was fenced off because it was not a safe place for people to be, but they were claiming it as open space. In other words, it was a bogus sort of thing. And so she proposed a code that would provide that open space must not be fenced off. It has to be actually open space that people could access. And when she proposed the code, it was adopted. And apparently at the time, people did not realize that it was changing the law and requiring open space to be open to the public. And she said, in essence, this was a mistake, and it was putting the law back to the way that it was in 2017. And so an amendment was passed, and now the code provides that any public or private open space must not be fenced off unless it relates to a park or other recreational facility. And the general feeling is that the illegal code was a really good one. And that even in a master plan, if you have open space, it should be open to the public. One of the people testifying had a large blow up of a sign in one of the master planned areas saying private park. And although it wasn't fenced off, it said private park. And so someone walking through that master planned area would realize that they were not allowed to use any of the open space. The council decided that that was an issue that should be addressed in the future, but the present code, in effect, was amended to put it back the way it was. That took a lot of time and caused a lot of excitement. In essence, it was a tempest in a teapot, but it was fun. The second issue comes down to what the state legislature did. And this was a biggie. Many of you may know that what we hope would be a big commercial area across from Caldera High School is now 3.8 acres of it are going to be affordable housing. The state legislature, in its wisdom, wrote a code that said that the city shall allow affordable housing on commercially zoned land. And the few exceptions it gave did not take any consideration into the city's overall plan for walkable neighborhoods, which is the whole point of having some commercial in a master plan. The general consensus is that the legislature did not give this a thought. But the result is that what we hope would be a Trader Joe's across from the high school is now going to be affordable housing. The commercial part is reduced to maybe 4 acres, and that's certainly not enough for a grocery store or the sort of facility that people really wanted so that they wouldn't have to drive up to Third or up to 20 to go get groceries. The city is working with the state legislators at this point. Anthony Broadman realizes the problem. And the problem, of course, is that the legislature is done, other than a special session in January, for another 2 years. But this is a big deal. And we're hoping that they can find a way to change this code. We would want ideally an exception to allow for walkable neighborhoods. In other words, if the city got 2 applications at the same time, one was for affordable housing on a commercial lot, the other was for a grocery store in that lot, and there isn't another grocery store for 2 or 3 miles. The way the code is presently written, the city would have to allow the affordable housing and not allow the grocery store. That needs to be changed. It needs to be amended so that the city would have the discretion to consider the general need of a neighborhood before it allowed affordable housing. So that's a big deal. One of my neighbors is a commercial developer. I showed him a copy of the statute, and he was very surprised and not very happy because there's constant pressure on commercial areas, and he thinks that what we have zoned commercial is important to try to keep commercial. So that issue is in the works. It's being addressed, and hopefully they'll get the legislature to fix it. So that was very exciting also. So those are the 2 exciting things we had on Wednesday's council meeting.
And I was going to say, for a follow-up to that statement, Karen, if anyone wants to see that, that is the November 5th City of Bend City Council meeting. You can go to about the hour and 30-minute mark, and they're basically talking about commercial and commercial zoning being repurposed from the minute 30 to around, or excuse me, 1 hour 30-minute point to 1 hour 48, 1 hour 50 minutes. The city council is completely aware of the situation. They did acknowledge that they voted to ratify the state legislative codes into the city code last year. Nobody had given it any thought as to unintended consequences, but now they all are aware. They are working on a possible fix. Karen has some thoughts with her delving into the legalese of it, but we were just assured by 2 city councilors before this meeting that the city council and the mayor, as well as the state representatives, are trying to figure this out, because Bend actually is a progressive town doing things above and beyond what the state had requested. And unfortunately, now this new legislation is going to be reversing some of the city of Bend's progress in their planning. Lots of things to follow. The city council will be talking about it briefly in this Wednesday's work session. And hopefully by next month, we will have a serious update as to what may go next. Who knows? We may get asked to try to put together a petition moving forward to see what sort of community support. As most people know, politicians don't like to do anything unless they feel the community is behind them. So at some point, we may reach out to the community and ask for their support, which is why we did have Jen do the reach out on social media. And so far, the few responses that we have gotten have all, I would say, are positive, but essentially everybody wants a complete community. Everybody wants safe streets that they can slowly meander around that are in their residential areas, a place that they can walk or ride their bike to either eat, hang out, get coffee, do whatever. And yes, the ultimate goal would be a neighborhood commercial grocery store. And from our research, some of these small grocery stores use about a half acre of land. All the big ones require a minimum of 3 to 4 acres. There's also been some talk by Brian and myself as we've been looking into alternative ideas. But essentially, if the state legislature does not fix this by the short session in January, then it will be another year plus 2 years before anything can get done. And a whole lot of damage can be done in 2
On the
years
state level,
at the state level.
although we would obviously continue to pursue possible
Possible
alternatives.
alternatives at the city level and local level. But the city manager and the city attorney are aware of the situation and are working on this as we speak.
I just wonder, is there any room for interpretation of that statute? In other words, what's the legislative history behind that decision?
It is one of the most cut and dry pieces of legislation. It basically says, if somebody wants to build affordable housing, they get to do it wherever they want in town.
The city shall allow it.
Just to call it's simply allowing affordable housing in any zone. That's the bottom line.
Well, commercial zone, like industrial, not allowed like industrial. Anything zone
Well,
commercial.
just zone can't block the building.
So, and it also, but once again, this is not an argument against affordable housing. In the southeast side of town, literally the empty lot next to the lot that they're using was already zoned for apartments. So they,
17.8 acres
So-
around this commercial lot could
So-
be used for affordable
that's
housing.
like, yeah, so if almost 5 times the size.
Right.
There's plenty of land available. It's not a question that there wasn't land available. It's just a question of the owners of the land doing whatever they want to do with their land. That's me being polite. Any comments on this topic before we move on? This is an ongoing conversation. We are going to continue to bring it up over the next few months until this gets resolved. Because ultimately, everybody that I've talked to in Vision Bend presented it to the city in their vision project, and the city's goal, the city council's goals are complete communities. And that is the word I want, or the nouns that we should be using moving forward. Complete communities. This is not about getting rid of affordable housing. It's not about pushing for a Safeway or something like that. It is about complete communities.
Although there's a rumor that Trader Joe's is looking for another location. And
I
that
hate
gets people excited.
Yeah, I hate rumors, so. Brian, do you have any comments?
Only to add what you said in terms of, it's not a time for public to be passive. It is happening right now, and the politicians need to hear from people, what they feel about it, because as we've been discussing for several months, when it's gone, and there's no going back. So we're trying to see that the overarching local and state goals here can still be met in some form in spite of the imposition of the state rules that are in direct conflict with those goals. So I would speak to your neighbors, I would speak to your HOAs, and I would spread the word.
Okay, next topic. Ann, you're gonna appreciate this. I do not know if you have access to it, Ross, but the city voted on and approved the engineering firm for the Ferguson and 15th roundabout last week. So
That was in November 5th's meeting as well, right?
it was a Wednesday.
Last Wednesday.
Was it last Wednesday? Yeah, it was last Wednesday.
That same city council meeting, they also voted on approving that $800,000 or whatever
No, that's
for.
what you're. Because I'm the same thing.
Okay, good, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad that's a go. That was.
Yes, so the city did approve that, and
So, I mean, we should point out that they approved the
engineering contracts to do the design work. So essentially in the.
everything leading up to putting in the roundabout.
Yeah, so sometime in the spring or summer, the city will put on a public forum. And we'll probably be asked to be a part of that regarding the roundabout design. And I think almost everybody in the south section of town is extremely excited that roundabout's going there.
Yeah, there's been a roundabout in need at 15th and Ferguson for a couple of years, ever since that sewer project, and actually ever since the Murphy Bridge
Road,
opened, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Now, one of the issues that's come up, a couple of neighbors have already asked me, if they're gonna put in the roundabout, how are they going to route the traffic?
Yeah, that's.
And
During construction,
my
you mean?
neighbors talked to one of the engineering folks, and apparently they have not decided that yet. That's-
Guess that'll be part of it.
Well, we probably know better than they do anyway, so
So,
we've already been down this road. with-
Yeah.
We already.
so,
where people are going.
on that note, one of the people that reached out to us regarding the complete communities lives in the Bridges. And I guess the Bridges has gone out of their way to provide a extremely safe neighborhood by putting in even more speed bumps or speed humps. I'm not sure what traffic calming device. But yes, I'm just going to give people a heads up. It's not a guarantee, but there is a high probability there will be local traffic allowed to detour through the Bridges. But the majority of traffic should be routed completely away from the intersection. But that is basically how the city has done it at every other major intersection, I think, other than Purcell and Neff.
Well, that would also.
They had no way.
Kings Forest. Kings Forest will be in the same boat.
Kings Forest
The other
would be the other direction, and then the Bridges Polished would be the,
Southbound.
and that would be the signs, I'm sure you're all
Water
familiar with.
too. That's called.
Yeah, local traffic only. But it should be a fast, that'll be a quick roundabout. I predict no longer than 4 months, start to finish.
Yeah, I was talking to the project manager and he was saying 4 to 6 months, but we all want it done as quickly as possible. And I'm talking about working on it, or starting work on it, basically next fall, so in about a year, maybe a little bit less than a year.
So on that note, and even bigger news, land use, the Reed Market overpass. Ross, if you can pull up any of the pictures that we might have.
And I just provided a link to it as well.
Okay. The city held a forum here at the Larkspur Center last week. It was packed. I'd say a few hundred people definitely showed up. That is great. That basically, when people engage the city, that is all a positive. I will give a brief description of it. And essentially, if you see the little cute purple area, the 9th Street is going to be a ramp that rises up to Reed Market Road. And then Reed Market Road is going to have a ramp that goes up to the track in both directions. And then the business by the canal, the Mars and storage area, is basically going to be blocked off. So the city is going to reconnect and reuse the old American Lane Bridge that's just been sitting there.
This one here?
No, left.
So the one that's been as
Oh,
closed.
okay.
No, that's the old bridge right there.
That's the old bridge right there? Okay.
So that will be,
That makes sense, 'cause it goes
that
across.
will be, I don't know what they're going to do to it. I mean,
This is pedestrian only right now?
Yeah, but it was a full,
Yeah, I
well,
mean,
it was the access.
it was the access and it was declared not a good bridge. So that's why they built the new bridge. So somehow they're going to make it a good bridge.
A one-way bridge.
Yeah.
And then
And
You can go in, but
where
you
will
can't
go
come out.
after you go across the bridge, because the ramp's been going up, there's no way to.
so if you look on the map, essentially, there's that little piece of road that connects to American Lane from the old bridge. And so that will be reconnected, and that is how you will get to those two businesses, Mars and then the storage facility, which are in between the canal and the railroad tracks. There will be a tunnel on the east side of the tracks for pedestrian purposes.
I don't know what.
Hang on. I do encourage people to go.
Sorry,
to
a tunnel where? Like along here?
Yes, that basically connects to 9th Street. It's,
Yeah.
so,
Oh, here.
It's on the
Okay.
west side of 9th Street, then it goes underneath the Reed Market Road,
West side of 9th Street, okay.
and then it goes along Reed Market.
well, there's a pedestrian path that
Yeah.
follows the train tracks down.
Okay.
That's part of that neighborhood.
Now you're talking about, yeah,
It's
right here.
There was some questions about whether or not Quill is going to be deactivated to the public, and I believe it is. So that means all of those people that bought in that neighborhood will be routed out to 15th Street. There was also some concerns about the water remediation. I guess one of the business owners in the business park to the north side of Reed Market Road, water currently overflows the road and goes into the ADA ramps and then down into their parking lot and into their business. So that was also brought up to the engineers. They did not know that was going on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
So that
Do you
is-
know which business?
It's right there, like, if you.
Because there's like Spider City.
No, so your left.
Okay, so on the other side of the tracks.
So that right there, that business is gonna be torn down.
Okay.
And then to the left again, right where American Lane dead ends into, there's the business like right across the street. So right there, there's a section of light industrial. I think there's a topper business or a truck canopy
Yeah.
business. I think in there, basically water floods from the street into the ADA ramp, over the sidewalk, down into their property.
So these businesses, there's no gonna be eminent domain, they're gonna keep their business.
One business is going away and that's it.
Yeah, one of the businesses there
That
is
is the,
for sale right now.
The Staple Supply,
I
the Staple Supply business is gonna be going away.
How are people gonna be making a left on 15th coming out of this neighborhood? That's gonna get dicey.
Signal.
Here?
The Quill is gonna be
Oh.
shut down.
Well, we think,
Why? Okay, Dad. So how is that gonna function?
dangerously.
You mean the 15th Street access?
Yeah, from this neighborhood off of Quill, assuming,
That's gonna be a big,
And the one down.
yeah, that's gonna be hot trash, because then people would have to drive all the way, they're gonna have to drive all the way down to catch that roundabout to swing.
Brand new roundabout at Ferguson.
and
I get,
well, actually, and the Reed Market roundabout is going to be upgraded to a double lane roundabout as well.
Well, the lots of people make that left turn now. And it's, all of them are sprinting. It's really dangerous today.
yeah,
So it
Okay.
won't get better. You're asking that.
Yes,
there's a lot of children that walk down that street.
and on that note, there is a consideration. The city is trying to get funding along Southeast American Lane to basically fill in all of these sidewalks and make that a safe pedestrian and bike path or route, because right now it is not. And kids do go down Southeast American Lane to get to Silver Rail Elementary. The city does not have the funding for it. They have reached out to the MPO to ask for funding, but because every business is already built, there will be no SDCs created that will essentially upgrade those properties. So that will come down to the general fund or some sort of federal or state grant in order to get that taken care of. So that is not part of the Reed Market Overcrossing project. That is literally another project immediately adjacent to it that completely matters to make it safe for everybody. From a bicycle and pedestrian standpoint, it is going to be a big hill.
How tall is the bridge compared to?
Same as Murphy.
It's got to be 30,
Miss Murphy?
it's got to be 30 plus feet of clearing.
So you could,
30 feet?
yeah, if you want to know what that bridge is gonna look like, the Murphy, it'll be the Murphy height. And the east side of that bridge will be comparable to Murphy going down to the park. The west side will be abrupt because American Lane.
There's gonna be 2 lanes each way, right?
No.
Is it 1 lane each way?
It's gonna be, it's gonna be the same
It's
as.
going to be the same. So it's, well, it'll be 4 lanes on one, it'll be 4 lanes. And then they basically,
That's what it is now.
2 lanes each way.
No.
yeah,
Total
Well,
4
no,
lanes.
there's 2 lanes one way, a turn lane, and then the other direction.
yeah.
Turn lanes are in there.
At American Lane heading east or heading west, it's 3 lanes because it's a turn lane, a straight lane, and a straight lane. So that's not changing, but the distance from the American Lane to the railroad tracks is half the distance that the Murphy Road overcrossing is to the Murphy Road roundabout. Just to give people an idea. of distance.
And steepness.
They said it was slightly higher than Murphy Road, but they did not go into how much detail, but it will be a noticeable grade, I would say. But it falls into the state approved levels. Questions, comments? I mean, there's nothing we can do about it at this point. The city's done nothing, but you can still comment. Their comment period is still open. If you know anything.
But design's locked at this point? I never got that confirmation at the event on.
They did not, they were not
Our design's
really,
locked.
it was not, that open house was not designed for feedback.
There was an initial open house that had some feedback a few months ago. And then all the business owners in the surrounding area were asked to provide feedback. Ben Bikes was there, they provided feedback. There are still some logistical questions. Like I said, the water is going to be an issue. The fact that 9th Street heading north is going to be in the shade and a steep hill. It's going to be a slope and icy, no question.
Yeah, I would suggest, I mean, I spent a fair amount of time with the city person on that issue alone. And I suggested to him that 9th Street be graded in such a way that at a minimum, that one full car length is on plane with the road, so that anything it's pure north. So any degree less than being on plane means it will be in the shade. And the sun in the winter is so low on the horizon
It'll never hit it.
that it will stay frosty and slippery. And you're trying to go from a dead stop on 9th onto Reed Market where the traffic's going 35. And if you only get partway out there before you lose traction, it's gonna be a mess. So,
Well, that's a Spider City joke. Stay frosty as you slide into the brewery.
well, you might get knocked into the brewery by that car that's going down Reed Market. So, yeah, I would encourage people to chime in on that because they're aware of it, but I did not walk away with confidence that they were gonna design for that, that they needed.
It sounds like Spider City gets a rooftop deck to watch the show.
Yeah.
Spider City demanded that road be connected.
So there are a whole bunch of other businesses
Yeah.
along that.
I may have stopped off there once or twice coming home from skiing.
And they have long-term plans to put a separated bike path or a separated multi-use path along 9th Street all the way to Wilson. But there is no funding in this project for that at this point. They're just prepping for it.
And that goes from like the bridge then all the way down, or would that be?
It'll basically go from the
Tied in the tunnel.
where the Spider City entrance is, basically that's where all the road work's gonna stop.
Okay.
So from there, heading towards Wilson, eventually that road will get upgraded with safety because right now it's a dangerous county.
Yeah.
County road.
I've walked.
But there is,
before.
there is plenty of easement available for pedestrian purposes. Because there isn't, all the businesses are removed very
It's
far
got-
from the road.
It's got a decent shoulder as well.
On that note, there's one other thing that I'd like Ross to take on for about 5 or 10 minutes. And this is just so that we have it on record. And if Ann, Sherry, or Jim have any comments, I would like you to run us through our website. And the reason why is because we are in a discussion of what to put on the website, what sort of content, how should it look, what kind of access it has. And in this conversation, we've discovered that the way Brian navigates the website is different than the way I navigate it, different than the way Jen navigates it. And Ross and Dirk, who basically create the content or create the website.
It's all Dirk.
It's all Dirk.
It's all Dirk's fault. He's not here, he can't defend himself.
And what's very interesting is that what you look at now, of course, is what it looks like on a computer. But if you have an iPhone, it looks entirely different than if you have an Android phone. So I will let you to navigate like the drop downs, the highlights, the hyperlinks.
Sure. And some of the updates we're looking to make are just to make this one be updated a little bit more. So always have the most up-to-date information at your fingertips, which for the most part it does right now near the bottom of the screen. We're looking to bring this up a little bit. And then potentially have some more actionable wording in this little section here or something similar to it. Well, at the top you have just our basic logo here on the left-hand side. And then you've got some quick links to popular city pages for example, the Go Bond dashboard, which I won't click on because it'll take me off site. Ditto for council meeting summaries. This takes me to bendoregon.gov page for where the summaries are. I believe it's the same link that I pasted into the chat about half an hour ago. And then a service request system is here. Unfortunately, not quite properly aligned, but is what it is on this desktop site. And so we're looking to kind of make some modifications to that. Probably throw those right-hand, the three icons on the right, the three images, reduce those in size and shove them over to the far right-hand side, and put some more kind of pertinent information up. Possibly something along the lines of like a hot topics, or something along that line. And so we would put things in here like the Reed Market project information on it, in the upcoming dates of city council meetings might be impacting that project, or roundabouts that are about to be developed, like the November 5th one. We wanted to put a link in here to that. And a few other additions we're looking to put in here to possibly get some more people to get more involved, join the mailing list, and maybe even join the board. As of now, we also have our latest news where we have these little tiles down here with a title, the date it was published, and then the tags associated with it, or we call them categories associated with it. For example, community events, education, and news.
I mentioned on the resources, like I wasn't using the resources. You have to have.
Can you do the drop downs in that?
Yeah, so that was like where the weekly road report, which currently is quite popular. You may move forward, but for now, that's where it is.
Is our YouTube channel linked somewhere on this page?
I don't know off the top of my head.
That might be a good.
No, it's right here. Yeah.
Where? Oh,
You can't see it because we have a picture that's blocking it.
Okay.
No, that's the Zoom. That's the Zoom link.
that's the,
Or watch on our YouTube channel at this link.
Okay.
That's what that says
Okay.
on my screen.
Oh,
It's a little bit blocked out on that screen, sorry.
can we make note to follow our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel for updates?
People just need to navigate on their own.
No, we can certainly put that in there, or we can make a note to do that. I don't think we ask anybody to do that on our YouTube channel anywhere. Ask them to subscribe and like, but there's certainly have the opportunity.
I was gonna say, we should, because that's what you're supposed to when you have these sort of social media.
Right,
Yeah.
not exactly running this like a podcast, but I guess we could include the terminology in there. Please like and subscribe.
Well, the same goes true for Jen and social media.
I've been trying to include all of our click here to join our newsletter, subscribe to our YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. Here's the record everything, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes I'm good at it. Sometimes I'm not good at it.
Cool. No, that's good. I might need I'll jot down some of these after we finish the call.
Any other thoughts or comments? Ross? No?
I covered what I wanted to cover.
Okay.
Some of the
Nope.
additions that we're looking to make.
That's fine.
Do you have any input or questions from our guests?
And it looks like you're the only one left online. Do you have anything you want to say or add to us? I do encourage you to reach out to the city though, regarding the Ferguson roundabout and follow that, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, sorry, I've been a little distracted, so I haven't been able to follow in entirety your little tour through the website. But if I have any specific questions or thoughts on it, then I will reach out to one of y'all.
Thank you.
Sharon, do you have anything for us?
No, it's just interesting to hear what's going on. I appreciate all of your work.
Thank you.
I'm just going to add from a construction standpoint, this is my daily walk. It usually takes me in close proximity to Latham Excavation. that, today I asked them about, Magnolia, Hearthstone cabin area, and, they pretty well got the ground pretty much level for these developments on Magnolia. They were projecting that the Magnolia will probably get torn up first of the year, and then that's when it closes and they do the sewer connection from the Hayden development on Hearthstone all the way to Ferguson. So that'll be a long, noisy project, and they are still blasting on a fairly regular basis, and we're setting numerous fields to be blown up as I was walking by. So it caused some significant rattling, shall we say, in nearby homes. So that's going to go on for a while, and there will be routes that are altered and changed, but don't have specific timelines yet, but trying to get those for that and New Journey Road and Via Sandia and Hearthstone. They're all going to get redone as part of the work that's being done there. So
And at some point, we're gonna actually see an official master plan for that area.
could be.
We don't have one yet?
No,
They got to dig it up first, and then that's it.
the only planning that's been requested was for the infrastructure.
I can tell you they didn't save any trees on that.
Thanks. Were they all juniper or were there ponderosas in there too?
It was both, mostly juniper, but they were both.
Does the board have anything else to add? Otherwise, I might be calling it a short meeting.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Then if that is the case, let's adjourn. Thank you for joining us. And if you have any